G'day guys, welcome to my channel. I'm about to do the siphoning from my fermenter down to my carboy, and you're the lucky ones are going to watch me do it. I'm only kidding. No, I'm not. So what we've got is, we have a heap of wine that we did in the last video, which I'll put a link in the link in the system for you. And basically what we're doing now is we're going to siphon out the finished fermented wine into a carboy, so I can do a secondary for it and clear it out. It's been 14 days, so it's all good, ready to go. I just have to do it. So stick with me. We have a lot going on, and I'll hopefully try and talk you all through this and maybe get some insight for you. So what we've got is the finished fermented wine. So now what we're going to do is siphon it into a carboy, which I've got down here. You probably see it when I tap it. From that, we're going to siphon the best of the wine out into this carboy so that we'll get the clearest wine we can. So what we did when we first started fermenting, we put bentonite and mixed it in with the wine so that it will take a lot of the make it clearer. And now that has settled to the bottom with the yeast. It's already eaten all the sugar it should have eaten. And from that, we will siphon it out, avoiding taking any of that bentonite out and yeast. So we've got a nice clear wine in a secondary carboy. So what I'm going to do now is grab my siphon and place that into some sanitizer, which is in my carboy here, which you guys will see down on the bottom when I can get this, if I can get this thing out. So nothing's dirty yet, so just whack that in there. Maybe I'll put it into a container actually. It is actually a wine thief too, so it'll actually suck up. See how that happens? Suck up all the sanitizer and actually rinse it right through. So that's really a good way of giving it a good 30-second, 30-second exposure to the surfaces of all this, and to exposure to the sanitizer. So sanitizer is very important, of course. And then as I go through, I'll let it empty out, and I'll grab all my hoses and everything else I use to siphon, and then get that and let that all have a nice little clean out too. So it'll all work out just exactly how we want. So now what I'm going to do is pop the siphon into this fermenter bucket, and then I'm going to siphon it into my carboy, which you can see down there, and show you how it all works. Okay. All right, here we go. Haven't opened this for 14 days, so here we go. So far it smells like it's been fermenting. Doesn't smell bad, which is a great thing. I'll just give this a quick clean. Now I'm using a silicone hose here because it just helps with the connection and it doesn't leak. I found that to be much more useful than just popping a hose, which keeps going on the ground, on the end, which is something I don't really consider fun. Okay, it's all been coated nicely. It's been in there for a little while now, so we'll get that up and out. Pop that in there. Now, unfortunately, the hose I've got isn't long enough, so I'm going to have some trouble with air getting in. I hope that doesn't affect the wine. Are you ready, guys? Let's see how this goes, hey? Okay, let's do this. And it begins. That was one little... No, I don't want it to, it's going to aerate. Nothing I can do about it. Oh well, we'll just hold her there and let it go. Hey Google, tell me a wine joke.
What did the grape say when it was crushed? Nothing. It just let out a little wine.
Nice. So that last video you just saw was with me filling this little carboy up and getting it ready, and I added a product in it about a day later, which is called Don't know. But anyway, what it was supposed to do was settle down the wine, clear it out, and make it a drinkable drink. Now, that was nearly 5 weeks ago. I haven't had any time to do anything in the last 5 weeks. So this has been sitting around for that amount of time. So right now, today, or now, I am going to put that into bottles that I've collected, all sanitised and clean, and some also beer bottles, these guys here. So I've sanitised and cleaned all these, cleaned and sanitised. Make sure I put that back in the sanitizer. So now all I have to do now is grab the siphon that I'm using, pop it into my carboy. First thing I should do is empty the excess sanitizer out, which would be a smart move. And it's going to pour down my arm. Nope, all good. So I'll now unwrap this little beauty here. I put Glad wrap around this because the stopper itself was the wrong size stopper. So I had to put a Glad wrap around that while it was wet because it wouldn't stay in there. So now it's nicely stuck in there. Did its job that it's meant to do. I will get a new one and a proper one for that, but it did seal it nicely. So, oh, it smells like wine. Hey, that's a funny thing, isn't it? So now I'll put my little sanitized siphon in, which has a little red, if you can see this, it's got a little red spacer on the top there, just to try and keep it above the sediment, which is down the bottom here, which is all settled in the bottom of the wine. I'm going to put that in till I can feel it get close to the bottom. It probably will touch. There you go, it's touched the bottom. I'll get it ready to start. So we'll get our little wine thief, our bottle wand. And the bottle wand will go into the bottom of the bottle. As I siphon out, the little pointer, little spring activated valve will be pushed in so the wine will actually flow through. So now I'll just push down on this and pump some wine out. Let's see how we go. That's going to happen very easily by what I can see here. So it's hard to start the siphon like that. And it's off, just like that. No, not just like that. Okay. Looks like it's flowing nice and clear, which is a real good thing for me. Yes, so I shall show you what I'm doing. Stop that there for a sec. So what's happening now, the siphon has actually activated and started running down through the pipe. And all I'm doing now is pushing down on the valve. And because the siphon has gravity fed, has already started, it actually will allow the liquid to flow through into the bottle nice and easily. So I'll do all my bottles. These are beer bottles, so I'm going to cap these. I'll bring them up to almost full. Whoop. Going to keep flowing. Put that on that. Whoop, it's going to get messy. And we'll start the next one. We'll keep going through these until we're finished. friend, a Google friend. Hey Google. Hey Google, tell me a joke.
Here we go. What do you get when you cross a sheep with a kangaroo? A woolly jumper.
That wasn't funny at all. Hey, I've got a new friend.
Thanks. I reckon.
Okay, so I'm now going to cap these beer bottles with wine in it. I'm sure they'll be nice and sealed. I mean, they're good enough for pressured beer, so they'll be just as good for wine easily. So I'll put my old capper in, pop it in, up under there. I've used this already before. Quite easy, just push down, seal it. It did want to come out there, but that is sealed. No leaks, no nothing, and it's wine. Fully sealed. So I'll just do all these bottles, then I'll go on the wine bottles and fill them up. Okay, so now I've capped all my bottles, nicely sealed, not going to come out. I'll put this into a wine fridge that I have out in my room. I'll leave them there, I won't touch them. Which comes to this. I collected some bottles. I have my daughter, she works at a restaurant. She brought bottles home for me, and there are some that I kept from what I've been drinking. I've got 12 of them with lids, screw lids. They're the ones I'll be drinking now in the near future. So that was fun. We'll go back to the filling now. Okay, so I'm done with my 24 bottles of wine. My beer bottles that are full of wine are going into the fridge and they're getting locked away. My normal bottles, these little fellas, I'm going to drink them. It might take a few weeks, but I'm going to drink them. But I'm going to drink the clear ones first, as they say that the clear bottles tend to spoil wine quicker in light. So I'll get rid of them before they spoil, and then hit the other ones later on. So, as it was, I poured myself a glass. This is the first wine I have ever made. I thought I'd give it a go and see what it tastes like. Definitely smells like wine. And easily tastes like wine. That's not too bad. It's not as clear as, oh, it's not too bad. It's clearer than I thought. Too bad I haven't got it in a wine glass. It's drinkable. Needs a bit more aging, I think, but it's very drinkable. Has a bit of carbonation taste to it. So I may not have decarbonated it properly. It's a problem with wine. I didn't have the right equipment, but yeah, that happens. But done. Next video I do on wine, I'll be much more in depth. I'll talk you through it all, because this is my first one. I'm only just playing with it to see how I go. Next one, I'll actually explain exactly what I've done, and I'm sure I'll do it right. So these are going to be quite enjoyed, and thank you. Thank you very much for sticking around to watch this. You've probably found that after I'd filled my poor old carboy up, I accidentally mixed two videos together and lost my videos. So that was just my stupidity. But adding this to the end was a bonus, because I didn't have to make 3 videos then. I've just made 2. So now, next week, I'll be doing, next fortnight actually, I'll be doing another Cooper's Draft with added hops, which was a Citra hops I added to the first one I did. But this one, I'm going to do, as suggested, I'm going to do a hop addition after 5 days of fermentation to see the difference in the flavouring of the same hop amount. So stick around for that. We'll see you next week. Cheers. So if you like to watch an amateur like me do crappy work that I do, if you'd like to see someone stuff up a lot, make mistakes and admit to them, keep watching. I'm always doing it. I am getting better at brewing. I've only just done this for about a year or so. Never done it before that. And I only go off the people who talk to me online. So if you guys can leave me a good comment, not a bad one, a good comment to teach me how to do these brews right. If I'm doing it wrong, let me know. If I'm doing it right, let me know. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you again. See ya. Hey Google, tell me a joke.
One joke coming up. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back?
Oh, I've heard this one.
A stick.
Not that funny.